Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suleiman Rahim here. That's your covenant. Breaking 7 seals. We have a special, since I'm combining both my sessions today. I want to give a detailed timeline. What's happening, what you expect to happen. It's kind of echo, I don't know. Anyway, brothers and sisters, detailed timeline, because we're in it. It's getting very intense. Well, it's intense now, it's going to get a lot worse. The worst is yet to come. It's coming fast. And they're telling you now. They tell you, no matter what happens over there, shockwave is coming. They tell you shockwave is coming. It was already happened. You feel gas all over the country, right? This is coming much. Even if everything worked out all right, from now on there, they still said it's going to be a shockwave and it's going to be a high inflation. Some of you talking about maybe a depression. Just what's already happened because it stopped the flow of oil for just a few days. But everything's not going to work out all right. It'll get a lot worse. The worst is yet to come. The Iranians starting to get the idea because they said, oh, America says they want a ceasefire, but they put troops in. I mean, they said, how many times are you going to fool me with this one? We're going to talk and give me all, we just talk and have ceasefires and all this stuff just to, so you can get yourself a better stance so you can sort of punch. Anyway, so I'm going to go through how we got here, basically, what we expect to happen. Now, I'm going to speak on this one thing. You know, I'm doing this mission. He has to do it. I said, she had the wrong guy. Goes, man, but that's the way it is. No one, they thought Elijah was the wrong guy too. Because I mean, he'd be qualified to keep a message clear. And it's powerful and it's informational and intellectual, and the man didn't have any education or anything. But he was alcoholic prior to meeting Master Muhammad. Right? And he couldn't speak well. But and I always wondered about that. Why do I always pick the person who seems the most likely? Like Prophet Muhammad. He couldn't read or write. But he produced the Quran, which is, they say, is the most profound piece of literature in the Arabic world. From that sense. Nobody ever do it. I can't read. I read a little Arabic. They said if you can read Arabic, man, it's beautiful. I mean, just the beauty of it gets you. Forget about the meaning. But be as that may, you know, I got it. I'm doing it. I'm 77, and I've been thrown in jail and hospitalized. And attempted murder, fake accidents and carrying on. This all for the Levites, because I'm not a Levite. But they don't give a damn about themselves. That's the one thing that he had a problem with. That's why he had a problem with read about Jonah. He had a problem, but then God had a problem with him too. Because he said, man, what's with these folks? Right? I personally don't think they're going to make it, but we'll see. The prophecy so far. And he said the only one stood in the way of them. So he said, because some men make concessions for them. What do you mean I make concessions? Because he was told to burn that tree down. Just cut it down and burn it up. Not just cut it down, burn it up. He's trying to keep them burning it up. They don't give a damn. But you know, if you told someone that there was gold underneath their house, like 10 yards down, 20 yards down, I don't care if they were sick, had pneumonia, diabetes, or whatever, they'd be digging their ass off to get to it. But they don't believe us. They're not believers. They're full of shit. Because if you understood the angel and still what's going on right now, you'd be 100%, 200%. You'd be so fired up, especially since I had to wait 35 years to get here. We talking about, we days away. Oh man, I got a headache. Okay, you come up. I'm through with it. Because they don't understand. I keep telling them. They don't understand anything. Transition takes place on NOI. The next place they want to be is show up there. The last place, because the first thing I asked, what are you doing here? I thought you were sick. You had a headache. People needed you, and you had something else to do. So what you shut up here now? You shut up here. What you up here for? Nobody's going to hear it. Nobody hearing excuses. They have no idea. And you see the demons out there? Now they're going full time, but not going full time because they believe in time. No. They're going full time because they want that paycheck from Farrakhan. That's why they're going full time. See? Because they have a vision, they have something they want to hold on to. So this here, this is the most powerful thing, most powerful time in the universe. They don't believe that. You know they don't believe it because I said, it says, don't go by what they say or their actions. They actually say they don't believe it. Elijah Muhammad preached and taught when he was even sick. He was sick a lot. He got sick. He started going to prison. He started getting sick a lot because he died in prison like because they tried to feed him pork and all that kind of stuff, right? So he said, but he still didn't hesitate until he left. He lived the message 24/7, and I didn't think about it until someone mentioned he was 77 years old when he departed. I'm 77 now, so there's a connection there. But nobody got time to be fucking around with this bullshit. Because I got a lot of things in my mind. I can't be bothered. Because right now, people need this information. Said people said in dark. They're sitting in darkness right now. The darkness will get intense, very intense in a minute. Because you see, they're telling you, we're gonna have a ceasefire, but they're moving troops over there. They already tricked them 3 times. They think when you think somebody's stupid, you think you can keep tricking them. They think they're Iranian stupid. Oh, okay, let's have another ceasefire. Yeah, they're moving troops over there. What are they moving troops over there for? We understand what's going on here, right? We understand what the dynamics is. They can't stop this war. Because Paul says you will never stop it. Because you understand their agenda. So worse is yet to come. So we're going to talk about a few things here. But that's why it says in times like this, it says, the Son of Man, he'd walk alone. Flying press along. He said, look around, because nobody could help. I'm tired. Okay. Okay, well, when the time comes to leave here, no, you're too tired. You should go get your rest. Things you go do it. Those distractible things you go do it. See, that's all aspects of the gravitational vortex. See? Otherwise, like I said, he would make his ministers flames of fire. My wife looks at me. She's amazed. I said, I'm 7 years old, but I said, like, for almost 5 hours at the gym every day. You think I like going to the gym? At 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I go twice a day. Why am I doing that? I hate it. Because I got to get this message and I got to be in good shape to do it. Nobody's forced me to do it. I'm not asking anybody for anything. I'm giving. Let me speak on that for a minute. I wasn't going to talk about this, right? I'm not going to really go into it because after I got a presentation, I was going to actually say for them. So I give a little hints of it. See, you know, when you're taking, say, no one's giving much, so I'm giving my energy out. I'm giving my energy out. Raise the people. It says that he had preached, this preaching did it. It means his energy is what gave energy quality to bring them together. They had energy, but they didn't have, he had to give them the quality energy to bring them together. They would say they belong to him because he the one did it. I'm not going into a lot of detail about that. But the point is that if he got tired, got a headache, whatever, that wouldn't happen. It would be lost. I'm not going to go into that. I'm wait till time comes to really talk about that. That's a whole deep subject there about this. Right? So anybody emotionalism, about friendships, saving lives. Well, I'm not here to save lives. I'm here to give information, show you how to save your life. Nobody's going to force you into anything. I got to carry this burden. It's a burden. I ain't had to be doing this. I ain't had to do this. You read scripture. Right? He said Jonah, he wanted to die. Even Job, every say you look at it from every angle, he wasn't happy about it, but he did anyway. He failed. Job, look at it, he said all kinds of suffering. So when you have that standard, see, if you set that standard, then that means you're going to judge people according to that standard. That's how you judge according to the standard. So, okay, this standard, like I say, okay, you say this is 6 feet. You know, people kind of say this is a foot, this is a yard, whatever, right? So once you say a standard, then you measure people based on that standard. So you say, because if you're talking meters, you say somebody's so many meters. If you're talking feet, so much feet, because that's a standard. So you judge them based on that standard. So they said, it's not a man be set, but it's a standard. It should be judged based on how they compare that standard. He's not going to accept anybody that's not 100%. Once they receive the information and the message. I can't even understand that. So I don't care if they understand that anymore. That's the one thing that, see, I don't waste time regretting, and it's going to bug me because I always got to an agenda this morning. I stay away from people. I'm like, I don't threaten anybody. But I don't like people get in my way and cause me aggravation. I got weight to carry already. message, my age, these bills. You think I need to carry your bullshit? Carry you around? Let's see. Come on, brothers and sisters. The verse is yet to come. I'm going to speak this again. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Elijah said the truth be made so simple in the fool and error. I try to explain the winters. Well, that's really, it's more than an analogy. It's actually, it's happening. Right? Winter, spring, and summer. We transition to the spring. Winter, trying to do everything they can to maintain the winter because they're winter people. If you're a snowman, you don't want to see spring. You're going to do everything you can to keep the spring from coming in. That's what's going on. I'm going to leave it there. That's cool. But you look at that analogy, everything falls into place. I want to get to the main. Iran explodes. Now, go back to September. You can check these down for yourself, brothers. Go back to September. Maybe I should do this a different. Let me see something about it. Maybe I do this a different way here. Maybe. A second, brothers. I'm trying to think how to do this a different way. I'm going to try it this way, see if it works out, how it works out. Go back to September. There was so much peace and safety. And I was going to put all the video and stuff down. I was doing that. It took me a long time to put this together, actually. That's why I'm putting those together. 3 hours to put this together. That's a lot of time. See, when I do this presentation, brother, sisters, using my hour. I'm trying to do 2 a day. But you don't realize it takes like 2 and 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours just to put it together. Do the research, put things together, do the graphics, everything else. I'm not doing that. I'm doing that. Facebook page, I'm trying to get clicks. I'm trying to get personality. No, I'm doing it because I give a damn. I'm trying to do it in a way that people understand it. So I get the point over them because they're trying to get them home. They went to the Holocaust, promises made to them, right? And the promises we kept. That promise made them. Make the promise, without the one back there, make the promise. And promise made it. And I'm in submission to the will of Allah 100%. So, not to mention my commitment to the sisters. When I see something that can help my people, you know what I'm saying? I was like that way met Elijah. Look for Elijah, I gave him everything. That's the kind of commitment you have to have. I walked away from the military, a sergeant, I was doing well. You know, well, let me speak out a little bit. When I grew up in Newark, right? My mother was gone by the time I was 9, my father was gone by the time I was 14. So me and my little sister, she's not doing too well right now. She didn't want to come with me because she I would tell her, you got to get do something, act active. Yeah, I can't sit in that wheelchair anyway. So I was staying with her aunt. She didn't give a damn about us, man. All she wants that money she was getting from the state. I said, man, this ain't gonna work. So soon as I got 17, I got the hell out of there, went to the Army. I didn't know about Vietnam, I didn't know about any of this stuff, Malcolm, none of that stuff, right? So I'm in there, I've been about 66 to 70 years. And well, I went to my detail where I got to the Bible because I said, I got to do something. Somebody got to tell me something. I don't know. I have no idea what life is. I don't know what it's about. My mother was a diehard Christian. And that stuff about going to hell, I stepped away. That stuff didn't work with me. Anyway, I got into it. And I was in Vietnam, and I was going to read all through it. So I got to Malachi by the time I got to, I said, you know something, I'm not going all the details of this backstory here. This person must be around now. Right? Reading the Bible, to me, it says, the Bible says about us, my people. Right? So I said, hell, I left cold turkey, left with AWOL, looked for Elijah. I didn't give a damn. Then look back and worry about them come and get me nothing, anything. They checked my name. I found them. Long story. I gave 100%. One thing I didn't want to do was be a minister, and I declined. I didn't think I'd be a good minister because I don't like dealing with people. I like people, but I like that kind of interface. I like when I was in the Army. I give 100% because I said I don't do anything half-assed. You do something, do it right. So anyway, let me move on. Like I said, I got back this angel. I'm looking this to be, I was just interested. I told the story. It's interesting. It's like a puzzle. You got to figure this thing out. I know what it means by me to figure it out. Because everybody was saying they figured it out. I said, well, let me see if I can figure it out too. I had no idea what that meant. Until I got to start figuring out. Damn. Let's move on. Anyway, September. See, it says there, it's a level of events that take place that leads up to where we are right now. So the scripture tell you that it will start off with them saying when they saw peace and safety, sudden destruction coming in like a woman in labor, going to be in phases, and that's what happened. You go back September 2023. Right? That the year right here? Yeah. And that's what they was talking about. Oh, it's going to be Belt Road, Abraham Accord, and all that stuff, and all peace going to break out in the Middle East, right? You can go check it. I'll take my word for it. Right? And then that's it. Right after that, sudden destruction, what happened? September. Let's see if I got this right here. See what they said, peace and safety. That's what they were saying. Peace in the Middle East. And then they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? Destruction come upon them, right, as a woman travails, in other words, in phases. So it didn't happen immediately. Things that would start happening that would lead to their destruction. Okay? Then what? Right away, October's, right, boom, so-called uprising. Immediately, that's what happened. September, they were saying peace, safety. October, boom. What will follow, there'll be the abomination, desolation. Now we got to look up the word abominable, and the word means the uprising. You can't make this up. The uprising was put down with great cruelty. The uprising that happened October 7, 2023, and it was put down with great cruelty. Exactly what definition, look up definition. Abominable. Okay? You can't go wrong if you just pay attention. And then that, so the uprising put, and that went down. Abomination that make it desolate. That's when it began. That's when it began, October. Uprising. At that time, the daily sacrifice taken away, an abomination that makes desolate set up. That should be 9 days. I'm not going to the calculation here, right? Anyway, that would start triggering things. That started the trouble because it says there was peace, safety, and then boom. Hell falls right behind it. That's the first thing that happened right away, October. It's been going on, you know, the so-called genocide and everything, right? And then that went on to June 25, 225. What happened to 25? War broke out. See? Domination, desolation will lead to war. We have with Driscoll some armies. And that's the war in heaven. See? War in heaven is Middle East. 225. That's what the war broke out, right? Okay. And we can actually go and the angel actually give you the timing of this, right? And I was going to go back further to JCPOA. I'm not good at that. I'll keep it simple as possible. And that's the war in heaven, Middle East. That broke out right then, right? It says, when Josh heard the sound of people shouting, said to Moses, the sound of war is in the camp. But Moses replied, it's neither the cry of victory nor the cry of defeat, yet a sign of singing. So that means when they're talking about Exodus, was happening while this war was going on. War was going on, but it wasn't a sign of victory or defeat yet. So when you look in there, the things that was happening in the Exodus, when they take and separate Mr. Covenant's followers from Aaron's followers, that happened during this war. Pharaoh kind of shut down. Him and his followers are shut down. And the ones that was seeking the message of the covenant, they're separated. That's going to happen during this period of time, brothers and sisters. I can't tell you how long this war going to last. Because it says nobody knows that but Master Prophet Muhammad. But we know it's not going to last long. Maybe another month, 2 months. That's the one thing that bugs me. Because I said, man, I'm 35 years and I got time for everything. Except that. How long? I know it can't go further than a certain point in time because I know when certain other things happen. But I can't say exactly. Everyone knows that Master Prophet. So he would know exact. I would know in general. He said he would know the day, the hour and the date. So that's very precise. Right? It's about a month or a year. Anyway, so when you read Exodus, and that's when Aaron and his followers get shut down while the war is going on. That's going to happen. In fact, this is in the process happening now. You'll see. War in heaven. And Michael, and Pharaoh kind of can't tell who Michael is. Michael is Master Prophet Muhammad. Who's the angels? They're the Shia. And they're going against the dragon. Because it's just the war in heaven. It is the war in heaven. There's two groups there. And we got two groups fighting over there. So you got to say, what group is what group? So you're going to say, Iran is the dragon. The dragon is dragon, right? And that means, right? And that means America and Britain, as well as Israel, they would Master Prophet Muhammad. You think that's right? Okay. Anyway. That's what's going on right now. We're in heaven. First, peace of safety, this desolation, then the war. That's the sequence. Together. And I heard a voice in heaven saying, right now becoming salvation and power of the kingdom of God of us, the authority of Christ him, because we're throwing down the accuser of the brother of us, accusing him in sight of God, us day and night. That's Farrakhan. He's accusing. He's the one accusing. He's a Malachi. He's the one that robbed the nation. The curse. You understand? So he's cast down this period of time when it's during the war. He'll be cast down any time now, any day now, any hour now. It's going to be close. Because we're right in it. So while the war's going on. So this is the war they talk about. It's that crucial war they talk about in Scripture. Right? That's where we are. So everything happened while this war going on. Then June, then the war would be silenced. Right? About 6 months. So it was. It just stopped. It stopped in June. Then it was silenced. Right? And then started back up what? About 6 months later. I said about 6 months. That means, it's close to 6 months. Could be 7 months, but it said about 6 months. About half an hour, which is hours a year. Right? So, right on time. Everything happens like I told you. See? War in heaven. Middle East, pause. That's why he say, we right here, the time that the Levite people need them the most. I mean, it's like, you got a doctor, you have heart surgery, and they tell you, man, you got to have surgery right now. Because you can't live any longer. Your surgery has to be done today, period. Right? Yeah, because your heart's not going to survive any longer than that. You got to have. Then the doctor say, man, I don't feel too good today, man. I don't know, man. Can you get some hours replacement or something? You see what I'm saying? What's that? People about to be attacked. They plan to destroy people. They already set it up. Oh, man, I don't know. Okay. See how that works out for you. Like I said, like Muhammad said, if you don't do anything with the truth, you better off having been told the truth. You've been better off having never been told it. You better read the lesson again, because once you heard it, you have an obligation to do something with it, because you're better off having never been told it. Because everyone out there is lost because of lack of knowledge. You part of your hands is. That's what Suleiman says. If you take this message up, right? You don't do it, right? You are responsible for the blood of our people. You held responsible for that. There's no thing. Say, oh man, I take this up, man. I got responsible. Ooh. That's what I tell you. Read it. So if you take up this message and you don't deliver it, you're responsible for their loss. So nobody can't say I ain't delivered this message. I try to tell people, don't mess with it. That's why I ran people away. I was really doing my favor. Get the hell out of here. Be 100%, get the hell out of here. Because you don't want to mess with this message if you ain't 100%. You don't want to mess with it if you ain't 100%. Because you burn your ass up. You burn yourself up. You burn your seed up. Because when they say this, you understand this. When they eradicate you going into the hereafter, if you get eradicated, your whole line gets eradicated. Because that's you again. You understand that. They don't understand a minute. Pharaoh didn't understand until he was dying. He was drowning. Then he understood. It was too late then, ain't it? See? Here it is, the one pause. Act like I said. I can't. And the point is, I don't need anybody to bear witness. Because you can go right to my videos still out there. They got rid of them. Saying this in detail. It'd be a pause about 6 months. And start it back up. Right on time. Oh, oh, my leg hurt. I got a headache. Right, right. We don't want any parrots here. I mean, a parrot is better than, I mean, then you can't eat parrot right. I tell you. Well, 2 more days, I don't have to worry about this kind of nonsense anymore. Okay, to pause. When he opened up the seal of seven, occurred silence heaven, half an hour. Okay? And the thing is, like I said, it get a lot of hints that I tell people, you read in there, you say, okay, this means this says, but what's the understanding of it? We're trying to tell you that. That's the point. You could read it and say, okay, oh, the dragon is house sword, and the gin okay, and so you can say all that kind of stuff, right? But what's the verse trying to explain to you? What's trying to tell you? That's the point. But now you can go in, okay, like I said, your ABCs, okay, but can you spell anything? If you spell something, can you read? But like Elijah Muhammad said, every toe has cells on the bottom. Okay. So here it is. I'm giving you step by step, right? Sounds in heaven. Excuse me. Peace and safety. Preceded by a place of desolation. Right? Then into the war in heaven. Right? Then a pause. Right? Which all those things took place. And these things not tell you as a fact. These things were told you before they happened. Presentation out there. Last year before that, in fact, I got a whole presentation that's out there that's active. It's Abomination Desolation that was made about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Okay, here we go. Then January, okay, right? January. Resumes again. Ceasefire, all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe people get confused. Oh, man, he's talking about the ceasefire. Oh, well, whatever. The war's still on. Because the thing is that, like I said, Iran is dropping an atomic bomb. They drop bombs more powerful. They don't need atomic bombs. Like I said, if you drop a bomb, you drop a nuclear bomb on New York, you blow away the city, right? The whole city's gone. What if you drop an economic bomb on America? There's no oil. The whole reality shuts down. You kill more people, destroy more people more effectively than dropping a nuclear bomb. Because you just bombed the whole, because that's what I try to tell people. Understand economy, understand religion, understand how these things work together. Mathematics of it. You got the economy, and then you need how to manage that economy. Religion is really how to manage, and the economy is really not the engine that's there. So the thing is that they got 2 atomic bombs that drop because one of them is that. Then the fact is that, and they're worried about that right now because they're destroying their currency, which is fake to begin with. I'm not move on, bro. So I explained that. So anyway, it resumes. So, and that's going on right now. So they can block through straight have moves, and then I think Houfi's going to block the other, and so forth, so on. It's not going to stop. Even if it did stop, which it will not. That's only changed the quality of the power. So you got quality and quantity. I got to go. Okay, let me say this. There's pressure. Okay. Put pressure on something. Now, as the universe contracts, the pressure increases. They can't withstand that pressure. We also have quality pressure. What's quality pressure? Okay, quality pressure is that you need ice cream, but you need a certain kind of medication. They won't give it to you. That's the quality of it. Maybe another way of saying it. It's like us, right? Okay. There's a pressure on us, universe contracting, but the pressure we deal with the devil is a quality pressure. But they're trying to make us act like them. It's quality pressure, still pressure, but it's the quality of it. So that's where angels come. I can't. I told you, no one can change the quantity pressure. That's where the universe works. No God, nobody can change that. We deal with the quality of it. Understand either. If we start to open the sixth seal, shaking the curve, that's the war. That's the war. Sixth seal, and that sixth seal's open. That's what's going on right now. Pretty soon. You open the sixth seal, the sixth great shaking the curve, it became black as, and sun became black. That means that's when Suleiman, if you got to understand, your key takes over the inner eye. The moon comes blood. Star heaven fell on earth. Right? That's the four winds blowing. People come together. I'm trying to get a timeline here. Then April, September. Now these are, I should put a question mark on these. I'm guessing on these ones. I said, Elijah, Master Farmer only knows the detail. This is my best guess between April and September. I think it's much sooner than that. So I'll make it clear. I'm not saying exact this, because I don't know. So no one knows but Master Farmer Muhammad. This is my best guess. Between now and September, right? This will occur. The great light, right? That's when people sit in darkness in the great light. That's what I just told you. When sun come black and sackcloth's hair, that's when Suleiman takes control of the NY. So, right? I think it'll be in days, but I don't know for sure. I'm not when I say I know something I don't know. And the people who sat in dark saw a great light. Who sat in the region, and those sat in the region and shadow of death, light has sprung up. Anybody knows angel know the shadow of death. They know what death is. The shadow of death. That's NY. Say things like, yes, why are they saying that? Who sit in the region, they tell you, people sit in darkness. What darkness? What people are talking about? Sit in darkness, saw a great light. And if you know the angel, if you understand the key, shadow of death, you said the shadow of death, right? That means that's what NOI is. From that time, and then this is the next verse here. The very next verse. From that time, Jesus began to preach. Joshua began to preach. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That means that's when, right? So this God been preaching all the world. That's what we're talking about here. So that's when he started preaching to the whole world. From that time, the whole world is aware of him now. But the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And again, like I said, these are my best guess, brothers and sisters. It's clear. And that's when we say flee. Because after that, then we see Jerusalem conquered armies. See, so when you see it, when you're going to see it, you're going to see it when he started preaching it. See, that's when you see it. And if you saw it beforehand, you already fled. Right? But you got to know where to flee from. I had somebody ask me about a few years back, where to flee from. I said, well, why you asking that question? You're an agent? Because if I told you that up front, the devil would just sit there wait for your ass. They put bombs or something over there, you're going to run this down, all of a sudden, they wait for you. Why you asking a question like that? Because you will get that information once Suleiman takes control of the NOI. Then, at that point, right, those that with him, right, they won't have to flee. It's the ones that haven't got the information yet, flee. That's because the trap is already set. If they already knew, if they listened beforehand, they had to flee because they'd already made their move and got out the way. It's all stored together. So let them in Judah flee to the mountains. Let them which are in the midst of the part out. Then let them that are in countries enter there too. For these are days of vengeance. All things are written, may be fulfilled. But woe those who are child. So you understand what the angels talking about that. That's to attack us. Those days, great distress land and wrath upon his people. Wrath upon America. It's about to happen. I told you how we got here, what's happening now, what's about to happen. And he said the Jerusalem conquered armies know that the destination there was nigh. Same thing. So when they say, what they say to them? It comes from armies. Okay, that's another way of saying it. And we see abomination, desolation. See, both of them talking about the same thing, but both of them tell you run. Tell you the same thing. See, nobody's telling about abomination, desolation. I only want to tell you because they used to talk about it in the past, but that's why preachers don't talk about it anymore. Because you see, there's Van Impe and Hagen, all these preachers, evangelists, whatever, Zionists, whatever. They was talking, but they had it backwards. They said it's going to be the Arabs doing genocide on it. But now, when they see it's like, oh, it's quiet. You hear anybody talking about this desolation, but that's already happening. That's what's going on right now in Gaza. That's the bombing desolation. The rise was put down with great cruelty. I mean, how can you miss that one? Google it. So when you see that, you say it now, because at this point, Suleiman's got control. He's got a global voice. This gospel preaching all the world, the jinn, the angel, and then him shall come. Then be great tribulation, such as one since again in the world that this time never shall be. Except those days be short, and there shall be no flesh saved. But the elect say they'll be short. That means matter of fact, I'm going to make a move because they're closing on us. Like I was going to play this thing where people, they were saying that ISIS is taking season warehouse and stuff. I was a guy meant to say that. He said, what they plan to do with that? And these big, I thought there was big detention centers, but now he sees some big warehouses. He says, they must have some, this is a devil, right? He said, are they planning that for us? I said, why are they doing that? That's what his take on it. Why are they doing it? Anyway, if you believe this, I couldn't hold you down. You'd be doing 2 or 3 presentations a day. You'd be studying like your ass off. If you believe this, but you don't believe it. They don't believe it. They'll say you walk along. Because you can tell people talk all, see, talk is cheap. Your actions. Nobody works. What's your works? Oh, well, I think I'll do something today. Maybe a couple of days. Oh, it didn't happen fast enough, so I'll take a break. Some people, they thought oh, man, I got injured, man. Oh, well, I'm being in paradise next week. Here's what this angel says. It says, you will enter into, you go to hell, you affliction, everything else. Not a punishment, because people resistance. People resisting and resist, because the more you grow, the more resistance you're going to get. But people, they get, oh, I don't resist, they stop. Oh, it's risk, okay. That means you don't grow anymore. They don't get it. So therefore, I keep telling people, your ignorance, consequences don't care about your ignorance. I gave you $1 million, and you took it, right? Okay, let me put it another way. Everybody gets $10,000 a day, right? You take $500 from me. Okay, now you got $1,500. You got $500 to bear luck. Unless you give me $500 back some other kind of way, you serve me or you help me or something. You give me $500 worth of some worth, some value. Right? You help me out. Maybe you heal me, or you just give me $500 back. But I gave you this. That's what I understand. I've been given the Levites my life. This information is me giving this. What do they think? You think it's nothing? If their eyes are open because it's here, they couldn't go to, if they had went to college, they had to pay money to get their eyes open, and they don't get this much light. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? I'm giving my energy. That's called sacrificial lamb. He gives energy to these people. So they take it, and they give nothing back. So now they got all kind of bad luck overload themselves. They can't understand where it's coming from. Because you can't, you got to explain every goddamn thing. I'm giving, this information is more valuable than money. Money is worth anything. So, I mean, if you go to school, you go to school to get information, right? You got to pay for it, don't you? So when you go to college, and I got to college and say, well, you don't have to pay me anything. But you still got value. So you got to pay me in money. But you still owe me that because I gave you value. I gave you something that you didn't have before. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Gotta say it again. Everything is energy. I'm giving all this energy, and this is very expensive energy. I give my life for it. Plus, the point is you can't pay this. You can't get it any place else. It's valuable. You didn't have it before. You just walking around in darkness now. Now you can see you got angel light. Yeah, of course. Now if you don't do anything with it, you sitting around here, I gave you $1,000, you ain't sitting with it. So now you got $1,000 of bad luck, all kind of shit happening to you. You oh, okay. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. The days be shortened. Why they could be shortened? Because they out there to get rid of us. He has to read between lines. He has to do something before they do it. Those days be short. Because if he didn't do it before this was their plan. But he had to do something before the days shortened. It means he had to do it before they did it. Otherwise we'd be lost. That's the way that's going to happen any day now. Maybe that's the reason why they don't tell you the time. Because I used to think, I said, man, the reason why they let me know the time is going to be a long time and I'm going to be pissed off. I used to think. Man, everything else, they won't tell me the exact time. I said, well, that's probably because it's going to be a long time and I'm going to be angry. But it could be because I might mess around. Remember, this is a timing thing here. It said the devil knew the time was how it broke it, he would stop it. So everybody's watching. So if I mess around and knew the exact time, there's two things would happen. They'd probably have me down and get me, or if they could get me down here, torch me to get it, or otherwise, they'd wait, see if I say it. So then they could move up their date. Instead of, hey, we're gonna take them out in December. Oh, that's about we're gonna move in September. So we move it up to take them out in August. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's saying here. But that's what's telling you. He got a plan, he got a plan. So he's gonna do it before they know. They got to plan a certain time to do it. He's going to do it before they do it. That's what it's saying here. Otherwise, if it didn't, none of us would survive. And when you see the abomination, desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, saying place another abomination again. See, it's talking about the same one. It said it'd be in Jerusalem. See? It said it'd be in a place that shouldn't be there. Who's over there? Who's over there shouldn't be there? Right? Same thing. And that's, now you see, because I've told you. I've been telling you, no one else tell you about abomination desolation. I'm telling you, that's what's going on right now. No days be affliction such as not from the beginning of the creation was God created until this time, this shall be. Except those days be shortened, no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he has chosen, he has shortened the days. That's how critical it is. But they're already setting the trap for you. Son of man. September, like I said, I can't say exactly. I'm just guessing, brothers and sisters. That's the one thing uninjured. I don't know the exact time. My benefit. But then here, as for lightning flashes from the east, see, that's another one to get wrong. They say that's match from Muhammad. That was a large mistake too. But they said the lightning going to flash, there's going to be a lightning flash in the east that's going to cause it to flash in the west. So that means the Muhammad going to be made manifest in a minute. His manifestation is going to trigger the manifestation of Suleiman here. It's going to be boom. So that time, so in other words, tell you, he brings that, when he shuts the light out, it's so beautiful. Remember, it says, people sit in dark, see a great light. So, and that's the light. But how do you get in darkness? Because he can put him in darkness. He ready to shut this economy down. See, both have the same time. So he's going to shut the darkness, and he's going to set the light over here in the west. He's going to set the darkness over in the east, right? Understand? And so he's going to bring the light, because there's of course he's going to be the light, right? And the lightning shines, and his flash, what he does over there, his manifestation over there, he's going to shut everything down over there. Right? They're going to shut darkness over here, right? But he's shutting it, his manifestation over here, right? Cause him to manifest, he's the light that shines the darkness that both of them is a result of Muhammad. Lightning starts there. He's the one that caused the darkness. So the Master Suleiman here, he's a result of that light that shines the darkness. It's that another way. The lightning flash is there. This lightning flash there is what's going to destroy Gog, Magog, and he's going to set the world in darkness. So now the people over here will be sitting in darkness. Right? But his manifestation by doing that, right, is what is the lightning, right? And manifest Suleiman, who's the light that provides the light for the darkness that Master Muhammad created. So he's responsible for both. You understand? Do you understand? Do I say another way? He's responsible for both. But the lightning shines to the east, shines to the east to the west, so will be this. When the Son of Man comes, right? In other words, he's responsible for both, because he's the lightning. Of course, the lightning is. He's a flash that, because light is also light here. But he's also, of course, the darkness that the light here lights up. I'll explain it better than that. And that says, at that time, and it says, and there should be signs of sun and moon and stars and upon earth's dressed of nations. See, the earth is dark, it's in trouble. See? And perplexing, sea waves roaring. That's no, that gets into China and India, but anyway. Men's hearts filled with fear. Look at those things which coming upon earth. That's lightning. Come upon earth. For the powers have. How do you know that? Because now Suleiman's preaching, because it says, but men's hearts filled with fear. Those things, look at those things which are coming, because they ain't here yet. So how do you know it's coming? Because now he's the light that lights up everything. He lights up the darkness, but he also lights up. People said darkness is a great light. He didn't say the only one saw it. Right? They tell you what it's directed at, what the source of it is. There's all the places now, because they got some light because they see something coming. They have light to see something coming. They see this coming. Right? Why? Because the powers of heaven is shaking. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, I'm going to close. Who's the powers of heaven? You understand Daniel? That means the Middle East is going to be totally shook up. And the powers that's going to be shaken up is the Arabs. And the Sunni Arabs are about to be devastated. The powers about to be broken. Shia are going to take over the Middle East under the authority of Master Prophet Muhammad. I say, lift your heads because your redemption draws nigh. That's for you to get that light. But, and immediately after tribulation, those days shall sun be dark and the moon shall not give it light. Stars shall fall in heaven. This is the four winds. Originates coming together. A seen a great army shall appear a sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of earth mourn. And see the Son of Man come in clouds of heaven, with power and great glory. Sends angels out with a great sound of a trumpet. They shall gather together elect from four corners for four winds from one end of heaven to another. The other. Okay, and then this is next year, right? Somewhere. No, this year, one time. Right? So sometime between now and September, if this happened during the Wild Wars going on. But Aaron's father was taken down in Exodus. Master Covenant With the Lord was separated from them, and they was destroyed. Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, NOI Baptist. You can't make that up, brothers and sisters. The demon follows the devil. You miss it. We got the link. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. So but people see great light, and great light destroys this wicked person. That's where I come. See? The brightness of his coming, that's that bright light. The lightning. Even him who's coming is the work of Satan, all powers, the signs of living wonders. That's where I come. And with all the deceitfulness, unrighteousness that perish, because they receive not love of truth. They not with Farrakhan because of truth. They with him because they like him or they're demons, whatever. They're not in for truth. They're not dealing with truth. Because it's no truth. I offer $5,000 for them for years, saying all you got to do is show me one verse in the Quran or Bible that shows that he's faithfully presenting Elijah Muhammad's message and Muhammad. They know they can't. Because when we look at the lessons, know that Farrakhan is telling a lie. Because they said the devil's 100% wicked, can't be reformed. Farrakhan, I was like him here. Said we're going home. We ain't going nowhere. The devil ain't doing no, he kissed him and everything else. He's totally against everything Elijah Muhammad's taught and everything Master Muhammad taught. You got to read it. But they don't love the truth. Because they're the same way they like him. He talks nice. Right? See? And for this sense, God shall send them strong delusions. They shall believe in a lie. They shall be damned who believe not true, but in pleasure and righteousness. This is not a game. What's him said, right now become salvage God of us. Get accused of the brothers from down for that. That's what time Farrakhan him cast out. Okay, again, during this time, like I said again, fear. See? Now, this one to close out here, brothers and sisters. Let me take a couple minutes to explain this. Let me check something and I'll get right back. Take a few minutes to explain it. Oh, I had that. Oh. There you go. Okay, let me explain this, brothers. This is very, very critical here. Everything is critical, actually. And it says, you see it, we so accomplished, right? Scattering of the power of holy people. Now, if you understand Daniel, the story is about this tree. I don't know if that, I think that's backwards. Let me see. Yeah, I left that out. Okay. Talks about our history. Daniel says there was this tree that covers the whole earth. That was us. We control. I mean, we didn't make our own create planet, our universe. So this tree, it said it was cut down. This tree was cut down by this holy one from heaven. The heaven means Middle East. Holy ones is the ones call themselves, the Sunni Arabs. They're jinn. refused to submit. But anyway, so the bottom line is that they cut it. I explained that. And look at yesterday's presentation. They was the one that cut the tree down to a stump and gave us into bondage to people call themselves Jews and the Christians. Because they said we had nothing to do with it. Jews. No, the scripture said you were just as much responsible they were. He was trying to hide. That's no throw together. So they're the ones cut down because that story they betrayed us. Joseph, he told his brothers, "I'm going to rule you." They said, "Oh, they betrayed him. They lied. They threw him in the well, tried to kill him, right? And put him in bondage to Egypt." That's the story of us. They betrayed us, put in slavery, took our lands. Arabia is our land, but also they took who wasn't living in Arabia, who was living in what you call Africa, Northwest Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, right? All that's where it took us from. That's where we lived because Israel had kicked us out of Arabia, which is actually North Africa. That's the whole story. They took our land, culture, everything was taken away from us, remember? That's what happened. They were responsible for doing that. So it says, remember, they want to cut, it says the Holy One cut it down. So now it's saying this will not happen to accomplish the power, to scatter the power. So what's happening right now is the Pluton Arabs in trouble over there. And Rand says, and when this war resumes, because they said, that so-called ceasefire to Monday or whatever, it says they will take and they will, all the Arab countries, shut them down. Shut them down. That's exactly what it says is going to happen. Shut all the Arab students, shut down. That's the jinn. Shut them down. That's what they've been saying. Princeton News, I said, they're going to do it. So they attack again. They're going to attack. And because Trump said, we're going to send you back to Stone Age. Said, you do, and we're going to take and we're going to destroy all the infrastructure. We're going to destroy their water salt, water, anyway, desalination. You call it? I think it's the same. So people are really leaving out there now. So that's one of the things what happened, right? Is that these things, the end, that's why I tell you, this way it's going. Rand's going to take over. They'll come. Oh, that's why I forgot. Come as a whirlwind. It says the king of the north. I'm not having it here. King of the north will come as a whirlwind against king of the south. They say never seen anything like it. Thousands of missiles at one time. That's how it's about to happen, brothers and sisters. That's probably will be with them. And the thing is, he said 12th man. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. But I can imagine all you got to do is show up down in Tehran, one of those smaller ships and land in public square. Case closed after that. They're going to know he's the 12th man. You're going to be a big, really lightning blast. Anyway, you're going to see some things that, this is how I'm pressing trouble. I keep telling you, you're going to see things. The things you're seeing right now, you've never seen before. But you're so desensitized to them. Nobody's ever, the things that's going on right now, nobody's ever seen these things like that before. He even said, don't ever seen things like this before. America's power is being snuffed out by Iran's. Everybody looking around and said, man, damn, Iran's kicking your ass. You can't do anything about it. They're taking straight to Hulu, you can't do anything about it. They're destroying false Israel, you can't do anything about it. You couldn't do anything with Afghanistan, because they're in Vietnam. But see, America's been based on an illusion, a mirage. Money is a mirage, power is a mirage. I keep telling you. It's telling you, it says it in Daniel that they will put their trust in arms. I tell you, they have arms, but they see, because your mind, they told you, the mind they gave you to, they got nuclear weapons, nobody can do anything with them. That's where you get your mind back from. It doesn't count that way. It just says that's the quality of their pressure. The quality doesn't increase your pressure. So, point is, say for instance, your pressure, okay, you got greater pressure, lower pressure. Greater pressure, right, doesn't have any quality. It's just pressure, doesn't have any quality, right? Doesn't have any arms, right? No guns, no bullets. It's greater pressure, lower pressure. Lower pressure, it's the quality of its pressure is guns, missiles, and everything else. Does that make sense? So which one is going to win? So higher pressure destroys lower pressure. I don't care what the quality. Quality doesn't matter. Pressure, only quality that matters when you measure quality against quality. Like I said, they force us to act like they want us like them. That's quality pressure. Because we act on ourselves. The quantity pressure is what's happening as the universe contracts, right? And the greater pressure becomes lower pressure. And discipline times energy, and their discipline is declining, so their pressure and power is declining. So it doesn't matter. That's why they got all these missiles and and bombs and everything else, and they still can't win. Because you look at the quality and says it's better than the quantity. And the angels here is looking at the quantity and not look at the quality. See, quality is okay, but the answer to the quality of our situation is getting the hell out of here. Then they don't have a quality of pressure on us anymore. As long as we stay here, there's going to be a battle on quality. Because they got two different natures. So that's what you're going to see right now. Because the war hasn't stopped. If they hit them again, you're going to see a total collapse. Iran, so-called Arabia, Jordan, right? Emirates and all them, right? That's what it says. And the thing is that you have, they are brotherly. You feel sorry for them. I'm sorry for them. Because what they're saying right now, what they're getting put, I told you that for years ago. That would happen to them. Because the point is that they betrayed us in slavery. And so right now, they're starting to get a taste of what they did to us. And when we get home, they're going to get a bigger taste. Because we're kicking ass, Amalek, and anybody getting away, we're going to wipe out. They have no love for us. We have no love for them. We're taking our land back. Yeah, I got something else here. See, my heart's because the powers have me shaking, doing the same thing. They give me rock the Middle East. They're already in trouble right now. They already killed, knocked all. I told you they're going to run and knock the bases out of there. So America's almost lost all their bases. I told you they're going to run them out of there. You didn't see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. I told you before. They're going to run their troops out of there. And that's what happened. So almost all the bases are abandoned. And what's left, the people not even on the base. They're hiding in hotels and stuff. Yeah, I didn't tell you because out there. They changed it, but they're out there. And so now they're going second. They say they're going to actually hit the desalination. I don't know the same way. So it says, because over there, remember, some of those places, they don't have any running water. The water they have is they have to take it from the ocean and they have to run through. And if they don't have it, they're going to die of thirst. And Iran said they're going to attack all those sites, all those engines, all that their power plants, everything. So that means they're going to break the power of the holy people, the Sunni Arabs, who are the jinn. That's going to happen in a few days. Judgment. And this will happen to false Israel. I will execute judgment in the midst of the inside of the nations. See, all the nations are going to see this. I told you they're going to put drones up there and they're going to show, because false America's totally out of the Middle East. Can't help false Israel anymore. There's a plague of flies. I haven't got to that. Get that yet. And so now they surround it and they're going to be taken down. Now, what they were doing, they were done to them. And so it said, in the midst of the nation, inside the nation, all the nations are going to see it. I told you that was going to happen. And I will do that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of thine abominations. Right? They're doing it over there. That's just based on, forget about what they did to us, right? Therefore, the fathers shall eat their sons in the midst of thee, because they surround some of the seas. They'll cut for all their water, all their food, everything. They're not going to use their nuclear weapons, but match Armageddon going to make sure they're not able to use them. There will not be a nuclear war over there. Okay? Therefore, you shall eat your sons, sons shall fall in the midst of thee, and sons shall eat their fathers. That's happening. So they're going to drink blood. Execute judgment in thee, whole remnant of thee by scattered into all the winds. As I live, said the Lord, surely, because that has defiled my sanctuary. Right? That's what we're doing over here. The sanctuary, right? With all detestable things, with all thine abominations. If I would diminish thee, then shall my eyes spare, neither do I have any pity. There be no pity on them. None. None. Armageddon. Okay? Here it is. I was given authority upon the fourth of the earth. You understand, angel key, the fourth of the earth. America's 1/4. Britain's another fourth, Russia another fourth, and another fourth is EU. America, that's America. It says we'll kill long sword and famine. There's going to be bloodshed here, famine, death, and wild beasts of earth. That's me. That's Armageddon, the wild beasts of earth. That will follow immediately after the war in the Middle East. Let me close with this one. Then you called unto Abram and said, out of heaven, second time, and that sea shall all the nations of earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. That's talking about we submitted when the other angels did. See here? Oh, okay. See here? All the nations are living off us. They're parasites. That's what we're talking about. That's what we know we choose Abraham. America live off our ingenuity, right? Creativity, our labor. That's how they got power, rich. They live off our identity, claim they're us. So that's why I said, you got to bless us, so we're Israel. You bless Israel, you bless who curses Israel, right? Say, but they claim they're us. They got our land, Arabia, which it says right in here, that's our land. It said between the river Euphrates, river Egypt, can't get wrong with that. They got the fruit of our ingenuity. Because we the creativity of industrial age and AI age came from us, and they benefit from it, and Farrakhan's got our nation. We about to take it back. That's apocalypse. We're going to take back. They're not going to do it. If they roll the dice, they don't know what to do. They say they don't have a plan. They all they know is they're trying to survive. But no matter how they roll the dice, it comes up. Or this will be burned down, America's blown up.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
They don't step up to it.
B'nai B'rith, called the protesters messengers of B'nai B'rith, B'nai B'rith, B'nai.
Okay, I'm going to let this play, brothers and sisters. But that's me for today. So I gave you a timeline. Look at your leisure. I told you the things I told you after they happened, like Farrakhan, watch the weather. The things before, I told you before it happened. I tell you what's happening right now before it happened. I'm telling you what's about to happen before it happened. This world will not stop over there. It's going to turn worse. And it's worse is yet to come. That's all I'm going to go.
Called the protesters messengers of hate that are B'nai B'rith. $5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings. B'nai B'rith, called the protesters messengers of hate that are harming relations between blacks and Jews, and between blacks and whites. We would prefer that there be serious dialogue between responsible Jewish and black leaders who oppose this hateful rhetoric to improve relations and discuss important issues, Bear said in a statement. Muhammad said that by locking their doors, B'nai B'rith and the ADL showed that they are afraid to deal with us head-on. He added, "It would be better to just deal with me because there could be an occasion where we would return with an army." After the abortive protest, another rally against the ADL planned by Muhammad and Shabazz fell flat when officials at Howard University announced they would not be allowed onto the campus. The two have been barred from the university since 1994.
He's getting the fame so that when he turns hypocrite on me, the whole world will see him. I'm telling you what he said. I died at the table. I mean, it was like he had taken a spoke and drove it right through my heart. I couldn't understand why he said it. I didn't know why he would say something like that to me. I was faithful to him in my own way, I thought. I was obedient to him in my own way, I thought. Why would he say that to me? It is because he knew tomorrow better than I knew yesterday. And I lived through yesterday and don't know what tomorrow is, but that man saw tomorrow. He was the most perfect guy that ever could come to a people, brother and sister. But we blew it, man, because we so hateful of our black selves that we didn't believe that God would dare take a black man and not only make him a messenger, but more than a messenger, deposit in the man himself and make a God out of him for you and me. Now listen, brother, I'm not playing here. That man, Elijah Muhammad, is the most profound individual you will ever meet. I don't give a doggone if you live to be a million. And those of us that walked with him in faithlessness, walked with him in doubt and in suspicion of his divinity, know it better now than we ever knew it while he was among us. We know it now. Look, and I say this with deep humility, man, it pains me to open myself up and see a hypocrite laying inside. But look, how else can a man be healed unless he's opened up to the light and the thing that is in him that is not pleasing to God be removed? You understand? Now here's the messenger looking at me. And because Malcolm told me that the messenger was jealous, and members of the messenger's family had dropped it out that the messenger was jealous, I began to entertain the thought because I couldn't see the future. Now listen. I fought it off, but it was there. Hear this now, beloved. One day in New York, 70,000 people came out to hear the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is the largest gathering of black people, really, I think, in the history of our sojourn in America, to listen to a black man teach wisdom. And this ain't no play. I was so overjoyed, I went to the messenger, and I said to him, the apostle, there were 70,000 people. And back in, again, 3 months later, we did it again, and 40,000 came out on a Sunday afternoon to hear a lecture in Randall's Island. And you know, when I was so exultant, you may use the word cocky, you may use the word vain, self-centered, whatever you want to say. When God gives you success, you better learn how to handle it, or that thing will destroy you. And I didn't know how to handle what God was bringing to me. And I'm just being very frank and honest. And this is not negative, but it's so good to understand how merciful God is. He brings you up and show you the power that can come to you, but he knows you can't handle it. He'll drop you right back down and then bring you up in humility. so that whatever he gives you, you'll be able to handle it well. Now look, beloved, when I was telling the messenger about this 70,000 and this 40,000, you know what he said to me? He got real sad, and he said, you know, brother, the time is coming when you may go to the temple and there may not be one believer there but yourself. I couldn't believe it. I said, but we got 7,000 Muslims in New York. And here's 70,000 people out there reaching for his teaching. How could I go to the temple and there be no believer there? I didn't know what he knew. I didn't know at all, but he knew it all. Now let me say this and conclude this whole thing. Brothers and sisters, when they announced that the messenger was dead and his son took the leadership, we all bowed to his son. I think it was a great show of respect for him that no war, no fighting broke out over who gonna be the leader, this, that, and the other. It was one of the most smooth transitions of any black organization in the history of America. But we, in submitting to him, we did not know what he had in his heart. Though we should have had some indication, since historically he had always been in rebellion against his father. But when we saw him standing with his father, we took it for granted he had overcome his difficulty with his daddy, and nothing was more pleasing to me than to see that son return to his father to help carry on his father's work. And even though the father, in truth, now, had told the people to listen to Farrakhan. Yes, he did. I didn't feel qualified to carry on the work, and when Wallace stood up, I said, okay, I will back him. And in sincerity, I backed him. But look at the pause now. The man started teaching against the 40 years work of his father. And the more he taught against his father, some of us went through. I mean, some of the Muslims actually went into insane asylums. Some of the, yes, it's true. Some of the Muslims just couldn't handle it. Some Muslims walked out of that beautiful house on Stony Island, which rightfully belongs to you. See, it don't belong to hypocrites. It belongs to you. And one day it'll be again in your hands if it be the will of Allah. Look, brothers and sisters, the believers walked out. Some stayed there horrified and really petrified to hear a son say things like this against his own father, his own benefactor. Some of the Muslims believed it, took the flag down, took our uniforms off, sisters took off their robes, and to think now that this man who taught us for all these years, that he tricked us, there's too much to bear. So some of the brothers went back in the street, picked up their reefer, and was selling reefer. Some of us went and picked up drugs, harder drugs, sold them. Some of us became pimps. Some of us went back and became worse than we were before we met Elijah Muhammad. It's true. Some of the sisters went back to sweethearting with devils. Some of them had never gone with a devil, but decided I'll try it out. Some of the brothers had never laid with a white woman, decided I'll try it out. I mean, we went totally crazy, brother. There's just a handful that held on to the messenger, and they held on by a thread. Just a thread. But look at what happened. Just look. Let's look at the comma. We're talking about a comma now. And what the comma means. The comma means a pause. Now the pause is here. Wallace has done his work and he failed to destroy his father's name. He failed to destroy his father's reputation. And 4 years ago, this very month, I was awakened from my hypocrisy, from my falling backward. And I stood up and said, I am going to, by Allah's help, rebuild the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not my work, not your work, his work. Now listen, that pause, I went all over the world during that pause, and everywhere I went, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching showed me that that man was correct, more correct than I ever believed he was. He was not only correct, but he was right and exact. Now, there's a difference between just being correct and being right and exact. That means not one jot or tittle of his message should be altered in any way.
Although the Nation of Islam, does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separatism. The membership of the Nation of Islam is organized and poses a real racial threat. The Nation of Islam is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. The Nation of Islam appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in Nation of Islam philosophy. Important considerations should include the identity, strengths, and weaknesses of any contenders for Nation of Islam leadership. What are the positions of our bureau deletion informants in regard to leadership? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? The alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate the factionalism necessary to destroy the Nation of Islam by splitting into several groups, bureau deletion. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? We should plan to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Sunniism, Scientology. Deleting the race hatred. Don't call devils, devils anymore, deleting the separate nationhood aspects. We ain't going nowhere. No existing economic program. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters and FBI agent handlers who make sure he stays on track.
My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land, turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seek to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting sick. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself. After the white man say you are free. Remember that. We want an equal education so that you will know better. But separate schools up to 16 for the boys and 18 for girls, on the condition that the girls be sent to women's colleges and universities. We want all of our black children educated, taught, and trained by their own teachers. Under such schooling system, we believe we will make a better nation of our people. The United States government should provide free for all. Alas, the necessary textbooks and equipment for schools and colleges. We believe that is nothing but right and justice that they should build schools and colleges and universities and everything necessary to equip them for the teachings and trainings that we so miserably need and desire. church shall be left free to teach them and train our people in the way of righteousness and the way of decency and self-respect. And we believe that intermarriage or race mixing should be prohibited between the two races. We want the religion of Islam for our people, and we want it taught to our people without hindrance or suppression. These are some of the things that we, the believers in Allah and Islam, is true religion of entire submission. We are called Muslims of entire submission. We are called Muslims. We who have submitted ourselves to do the will of Almighty God. We are the people that want nothing other than righteousness. And we are the people that want to leave America for our own. Self-inclined. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm here today with my wife will be allowed to join the faculty. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I must say this, I know my own brothers be shocked. But you asked me a question, and I have to answer you truth. If you look at the message of Jesus, it started first very narrow, among the lost sheep. And Jesus was told, go ye not in the way of the Samaritans, in the way of the Gentiles, but to the lost sheep. And then at a certain point he says, go ye into all the world, to every nation, kindred, and tongue. If you will look at the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his first was directed to black people because he would give the word condition. But not only are we wrong, the whole human family is wrong. And therefore, the message has to evolve. And we have to evolve. And I told that word by saying, in Christ. There is no Greek, no Jew, no bond, no free, no male, no female. This means that we all are going to have to grow out of rapid nationalism, sexism, racism, materialism in order to claim Jesus Christ.
This proves that he is an agent for the FBI because he gave him every point that they mentioned, he gave every one of them. You know, stop, raise hatred, calling devils. He gave every point they asked for. Every point. This proves. So why are people still with him with all this information? He's not see Abraham, proves he's an agent, right? And further, you're going to see in a minute, he doesn't even believe in Master Muhammad. He says, Master Muhammad is, you can't believe him because he's flesh. And he prays. If he prays, who he's praying to, then we should be praying to him, whoever Master Muhammad is praying to. He's an agent. Skin folk, not kinfolk. It's clear, brothers and sisters. That's who Farrakhan is.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother Minnie. Yes, you are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother Minnie. That's real. Both sides. Yes, sir. That's real. Wake us up there, Apostle?
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right. That's right.
We owned buildings.
That's right.
We owned farmland.
That's right.
We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
The accuser of our people is cast down. What does that mean? Who is the accuser? Let's give an analogy, brothers and sisters, a mathematical analogy. So you have a car going down this road at 50 miles an hour, and it's going down the road going north at 50 miles an hour, and there's a westerly wind at 50 miles an hour. Then what direction will that car be going? Well, the math tells us that if you're going in the northwest direction, because the wind's pushing it west, and it's going to go north, so it's going to be going northwesterly direction as long as that wind is blowing. So whose fault is it that the car is going in northwest direction rather than north? Obviously the wind, because the wind stopped blowing, it's going to continue going north. I mean, that's basic math. So who do you accuse? Who are you blaming for the redirection? You have to blame the wind for that. But if you blame in the car, that means you're ignorant or you trying to deceive someone. Now that applies to our situation, because we're going. We was one way before we came here, right? And now we're going a different way, right? But we impacted by the people that brought us here, right? So they like the wind and we like the car. So now we're going all the direction. So whose fault is that, right? Okay, another way. The wind is blowing. You can't see the wind, but you see the leaves. They say, oh, the leaves are blowing northward. That means the wind must be blowing northward. And you can tell how fast the wind is blowing because how much the leaves are shaking, right? So you can tell a lot about the wind, even though you can't see it, by the effect it's having. By the effect it's having. So the same thing us, because you see, if you know the leaves, how they are when they're sitting there. They don't have no wind blowing, anything. They were just being there. So they moved. That means there got to be a wind blowing. Same thing. If we're different than we were, that means that difference is based on the effect that they have on us. So if we came over here righteous people, and now we foolish and ignorant and dumb and whores and pimps, that's the effect they have on us. That means that's who they are. See, but they saying that's who we are. They blaming us, right? But that's not where we were here. That's the effect, and now they're blaming us for the effect they have on us. For the wind is blaming us for going northwest, when it's the wind that's causing it. You understand, brothers and sisters? Just look at this, okay? And watch this. Now this is using vector, right? Vectors are the math, right? Language of force. So look at this. Now that's us going the right direction, vertical, upright, right? And this way it was going before this happened. Oh, they came and affect us. But see, they're different from us. If they was the same as us, in other words, the wind was blowing, you had a tailwind, that means you're going to be fast, you still be going north. You'll be going faster north because you got that wind blowing in your favor. And the wind is the same, but it's blowing against you, that means you're going slower, but you're still going the same direction. But if you're going, if it's different from you, right, then, right, like this case, perpendicular, so they different from us. Because if they were the same as us, we wouldn't have changed. So, and what happens? What's the effect of that? Vector tells us that this would happen. Now we go in that direction, and the colors change. So, well, why? Whose fault is that? That's their fault. But they blame it on us.
And that's what Farrakhan's doing. He blamed us for what his people are doing, because remember, he's a devil, his father's a devil. That means he's a seed of his father. That means he's a devil. That's basic biology. He's what your father is. So he's not kinfolk, he's skinfolk. He's like an Oreo, black on the white side and you white on the inside. So he think exactly like they do, so he's blaming us too. Or remember the so-called Million Man March, the first one? The second was a failure because he had 1 million people out there, and then he came out there to blame them. Your fault. You got to atone. You got to repent. You got to stop sinning. The day of judgment is coming. That's all bullshit. That's why they keep pushing that. He's the accuser of us. He's been accused of 40-some years, accusing us for what they're doing, his people are doing. Remember, he's a devil. He's working for them. You understand? So we're blameless. According to, if you understand the scriptures clearly, we're blameless. The judgment, it says he's not going to judge us. Read the Abraham covenant. He's not going to blame us for what happened. He's going to blame and judge a nation for what they did to us. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters.
Look outside of religion to put his ideas together. He looked at Christianity. He might even looked at Hinduism. I don't know. Jainism. Who knows? But I know he looked mostly at Christianity as given in the Bible. Okay? And the Bible says of Christ Jesus, peace be upon him. Not that we follow this, but I'm giving this to show what perhaps influenced Mr. Farad. Master Farad. He was a master psychologist. He knew how to deal with people with problems and help them. Okay? So he, I said, looked at the Bible too to see what can he get from the Bible. To help the people who are already in the Bible. We were in the Bible. We believed in the Bible in the church. And he found that Jesus said, it was said of Jesus about me, that he took mud and he put on the blind man's eye, and the blind man right away could see. Mud on his eyes. That's what God did. He put mud on our eyes. Now, I think to keep us from seeing what we were seeing before. And once the mud is washed off, we can see it strong. We can see with the eye. We can see Muhammad. So there is no question that either through the myth or through the methodology, he was an important person. No one will disagree. The question, look what Farad did. He treated all the people who were coming as leaders of Islam as students. And he said, what means and method? He asked the question, what means and methods must be used to solve our problems, to wake us? If you ask the question himself. Yes. According to what Armageddon said to us, Master Farad Muhammad gave him 104 books to study. And Elijah Muhammad said to me, the best of those books was the Holy Quran. And the other 103 all contained aspects of the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The only picture we have of Farad Muhammad is his eyes looking into the Quran. That's true. So what was he teaching us? And lastly on that, I made a tape as a representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I taught something on the history of Jesus as he taught it. And when I came out to the house, he had my tape with red on the back of it. And he said to me, I don't want you teaching what I taught 40 years ago. I want you to teach the meaning of what I taught. Because truth was hidden inside of that, but not necessarily that. Then he said, I'm sick and tired of my ministers quoting the Bible. He said the Quran is the root of Muhammad, so study the Quran. So to me, there was a man that was moving us in a direction, but we did not want, if I may humbly say this, the old world of Islam to interfere with our coming up. I agree 100%. And I asked myself, why didn't he want the old world of Islam to interfere with our coming up? Because from a humble heart, he taught us to love Islam. To love our world of Islam, to respect our world of Islam. But he also knew that our world of Islam had deviated. And by our coming to the Prophet, who was without blemish, but yet we had to come to him through those who represented him. They didn't always represent him properly. So by keeping us from the old world of Islam and rearing us in this way, when we would come to the Prophet, we would come in a way that we would not allow the corruption of our world of Islam to influence our behavior. That's right. No one would have any disagreement with that. He shared that with me before, too. Yes. It's the second time I'm hearing this from Minister Farhan. He shared that with me before, and I appreciate it because I didn't hear my father say that, but I know he said it, and I really appreciate my father telling the ministers that he wanted them to not to stay in the Bible like they were. He wanted them to go to the Quran. And lastly on this point, there's a picture of Master Farad Muhammad reading the Quran, Elijah Muhammad sitting in a chair, and Warifuddin Muhammad with his hand on his father's shoulder with the Quran in his hand. This is his assignment, to preach the Quran. This is our assignment, whether we follow the Imam or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to make the Quran our study. And the more we study the Quran, we will see what needs correction in what Master Farad Muhammad left with us. And to all of the Muslims who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if you remember in the lessons that Elijah Muhammad answered these questions, and it said that these are very near correct. The question is, who will correct what was very near correct and make it fully correct without disavowing those that started us on this marvelous road toward Islam?
I don't think it's a matter of disavowal, because I hear from Imam Warifuddin also that there is acknowledgement of the tremendous role that Master Farad Muhammad played in terms of bringing the Afro-American community towards Islam. So that's undeniable, uncontested. But what we were trying to sort of separate out was this whole idea, which is the very raison d'etre of Islam, that is unity of God. And if we had, gotten the explanation from you that we were not dealing with Farad Muhammad as God on earth, then we are fine. We can go forward with this discussion too. So
I'm a student of the Bible also.
Yes.
In fact, I began studying the Bible to find out how was I to preach Islam in America. I knew if I was going to preach Islam in America, I'd be preaching to Christians, and they knew the Bible, not what we were going to be giving them. So I should know also what we believe in. And all of the imams, all of the ministers of Elijah Muhammad were told to be acquainted with what they believe in. Then you know how to talk to them. So what I'm getting at is this. I know that Jesus Christ, according to the Bible, he didn't say,
I am God. He didn't even say, I'm the Son of God. He asked one of his disciples, Peter. He said, Peter, who do you say I am? And Peter said, and Mr. Farad asked all of Elijah Muhammad, who do you say? And he gave the answers, and the answers we have not from Mr. Farad about who is the God, but from my father. So he says his answers were very near correct, as you said. And he said he gave us student enrollment, he gave us English lessons, he gave us history, he gave us problem book. Problem book. Why problem book? He's telling us what I'm giving you is problematic. It has problems in it. Yes. It has problems for your destiny, for where I want you to go, to Islam, real Islam. But these problems are going to make your mind work, make your brain work. Yes. So he planned for me to come to real Islam, and it worked. So as we sum up this part of the discussion regarding the belief and the connections with the Ummah at large, are we then saying that we're all here believe in one God and the finality of Prophet Muhammad, and that's where it ends, or that's where it ends? That's where it begins. That's where it begins. Yeah, it could begin there. Let's see. And when you coming this way, I said, gee, I'll be there in September. I'm coming out that way. He said, well, I'll come and meet you. And right after Labor Day, I went to Los Angeles. And Jabril didn't have any money, borrowed some money to get there. I think he had a dime in his pocket and had on some shoes that was too big for his feet.
B'nai B'rith, called the protesters messengers of hate that are harming relations between blacks and Jews, and between blacks and whites. We would prefer that there be serious dialogue between responsible Jewish and black leaders who oppose this hateful rhetoric to improve relations and discuss important issues, Bear said in a statement. Muhammad said that by locking their doors, B'nai B'rith and the ADL showed that they are afraid to deal with us head-on. He added, "It would be better to just deal with me because there could be an occasion where we would return with an army." After the abortive protest, another rally against the ADL planned by Muhammad and Shabazz fell flat when officials at